What's going on, world? It's Michael Gascon, the horse guru, and today I'm going to be talking to you about speed transitions on your gaited horse. How we're going to make them crisp, how we're going to make them clean. A lot of times we're talking about bridle, what we're going to use on them, this, that, and the other. First and foremost is to make sure that they are soft and easy on whatever you're using. Today I'm going to be using Miss America. She's a 4-year-old Paso Fino filly who just found her forever home in Oregon, USA. And she is getting ready to make that trip. So she's gonna be making her last video with us, and we're gonna be doing speed transitions. A couple things that you wanna do. When you're riding colts, when you're riding young horses, you kind of give them the freedom to go. If we're doing this on your gaited horse and your horse already knows how to gait, already knows how, the biggest thing is to put them in frame before you go forward. And the same applies for your Western horse, your English horse. Don't give them the rein and then say, no, 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 that's not where I want your head. The next thing that's very important, whenever we were talking about winning national championships and making great show horses that were happy to do their job, is they always knew what we wanted from them. So when I ask her to go and I ask her to gait off, the first thing I'm going to do is set up my frame. And what that's going to do is it's going to be a matter of me putting her face where I want it and then driving her into it. And when we have speed transitions, I'm going to stop her forward momentum at the slowest speed forward that I want. So if this was a Western horse, it would be at a jog trot. And then I could have her really trot, then I could have her long trot, and then we can have her lope off, so on and so forth. Since this is a gaited horse, we're gonna start with her slow gait. In the Paso Finos, they call it a corto. And then once she's consistent at that speed, then we're gonna transition up to a largo, which is the long gait. And I'm going to show you just how we look for that. What you're going to find is there's very little that happens with the bridle. If you want to build a successful horse, if you want to go in the show ring and you want it to be successful, be the most consistent. As a young man, my father says, son, don't ever get beat by somebody who's more consistent than you. If you get beat by somebody because they have $100,000 more in their horse than you do, that's okay. But if you get beat by somebody who's more consistent than you, that's your fault, because that's all in preparation. That's all in your practice and your hours. So she's here, she's calm, she's quiet. So she's a trail horse, obstacle horse, but also she has the heart of a show horse. So when I am going to tell her to gait, there's going to be a clear cue. Whenever I want her to walk, I'm going to walk on the trail like this, just reins down on her neck, my body collapsed, sitting here, going obstacles, doing things like this. When I want her to gait, I'm going to gather up the reins. Did you see how she wanted to move off already? I'm not going to allow it. I'm going to gather up my reins first. Okay, this is the frame that I look for. All the national championships and world championships I won, I really enjoyed. They ride direct hand, which is 2 hands, but I leave the slack over 1 hand and I grab the slack with my thumb, and what that creates is even more stability, like so. So instead of having it here all willy-nilly, I create a box. The box that I want my box to be a rectangle from one shank to the other, in this case from one side of the halter to the other, down both sides of her neck. So when we're going straight, she feels 2 reins and 2 legs. Now when I ask her to gait, I look up, sit up, now I start applying leg. I start applying leg and I feel her back in start up first. So when it comes to the speed transition, notice as long as she's going here, she's happy. If she speeds up on me, she runs in on out. What you don't see in the video, I'll try to make it obvious, is watch my fingers. I'll hold her and tighten up my hands. And when she's going the speed that I want, I will release my hands. Obviously, when I'm in the show ring, I won't make it that obvious, and the horse will look like magic. So I'm holding her here. This is the slowest that she can go with her full range of motion, a 4-beat gait, 1, 2, 3, 4. And Pasos are one of the few breeds that whenever they reverse, they are expected to stay in that 4-beat gait. Most of the other gaited breeds, they're allowed to break down out of gait to turn around. So this is her slow gait. All right, guys, now whenever I transition, nothing is going to change in my hands. What's going to change, watch when I come around here, 2 things are going to happen. My legs just relaxed on her right now, but I'm going to start sitting back over her butt, and I'm going to start squeezing my legs more. And what I'm looking to do here is I'm looking for her to drive more with her butt, and I'm looking for her to get more elevation with her front end, and she's going to be able to go faster and faster and faster The next thing I want you to think about speed transitions with your gaited horse is when I'm looking for a largo, when I'm looking for racking, when I'm looking for faster speed, I want to tip my horse's nose out towards the rail a little bit. You see right there, I tip her nose out and she gets more comfortable. She gets happier. Well, that's because I'm driving her into that rail. So when you see speed rackers, they'll come around that corner and they'll have their head completely out because they're used to getting driven up against that fence. My inside leg has come back a couple inches, and that's to drive her back feet further under her. If she tries to slow down, I squeeze more. If she tries to pull on my bridle because she's excited about how fast I'm asking her to go, I will open and close my hands so that she gets off my bridle. And in the meantime, look how consistent her head is. And shoot, this is just in a halter. This is not even a gaited tool. Now the transition downward. I'm gonna tell you guys a secret, and I never told anybody this, but when I was winning championships, what they would do is they would ask you to go from this fast gait to a walk. Well, that's got a lot of people in trouble because a lot of people had a hard time going from kiss, 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 go, go, go to a flat walk. What I would do in practice is I would go from this gate here. I would come right here. Oh, I would come to a dead stop every single time. And I wouldn't move forward. I would stop just like this on my show horses until they turned the motor off. How did I know the motor was off? One of three things. They drop their head, they take a big exhale, or they kick a hip out. There's the head drop, or they kick a hip out. When they did one of these three things, I would allow them to walk off on a loose rein. Guys, when I talk about world-class transitions, that will do it for you. So then when I'm riding somebody like her father, when I'm riding a Babalu, a Tito, or somebody like that, that is a fire-breathing dragon, they expect that whenever we're going and I'm mashing them for speed and I have my legs on and I'm kissing to them under my breath and I'm asking for everything they have and they're so big and they're so powerful, they expect the next thing that's gonna happen is that they are going to stop and get a break. Instead of that, in the show ring, we would go from that fast, fast, fast gait. I sit back like I'm gonna stop. They completely turn off the motor, and then I allow them to walk off, just like that. So to have that world-class gait that she just showed there, her father's like a 6-time national champion, her mother's a national champion, and for her to just be able to walk off like that, that takes a lot of transition work. Guys, transition work is just clarity. So look how I look like a different rider, but also my horse looks like a different horse. My back's nice and relaxed. I'm nice and easy. My body's completely limp. I put a little bit of pressure in the balls of my feet and pick my toes up. That takes my lower leg and heels off. And then whenever they ask for the gait again, normally they'll walk and change directions. They'll ask for the gait again. Watch how I'm gonna put her up in frame. See how I'm picking up the frame? But notice how I hold the contact. I get myself in position. It's not a race, it's a horse show. And now I'm going to start pushing my legs, squeezing my legs together. And when she can do that and stay inside of this box, that's so nice right there. And anytime she puts any pressure on my halter, I just tighten up my hands. When she softens on my halter, I soften up my hands. And she can do this all day. A lot of the classes that she would compete in a world championship or a national championship, she would have to be able to maintain this for an hour, for 45 minutes. And then the other thing is if you want to slow them down, that's when you might tip their nose inward, inward, inward. If you're looking to slow your horse's gait down, you might make their circles smaller, smaller, smaller. The slower you want your horse to gait, the slower you want your horse to go forward in any discipline, make the circle smaller. Whenever you want those horses to go faster, like if I was working on her fast gait, I wouldn't be in this round pen. I'm in this round pen for this video. If I wanted to get her top end speed faster, I would put her on a straight flat fence or on a trail or on a road so we can go straight. But since we're in here, we can work on a little transition. I start squeezing my legs. I start sitting back. I start driving her. And you see her. The other thing, when it comes to horse showing, you don't want it to be jump into the next thing. You want it to be glide into the next thing. I want her to pick up 5 miles per hour, 6 miles per hour more. And I want her to do it where you don't even realize it, where her head's in the same place, nothing's moving but her ears and her legs. My hands are so steady that if she coughs, if she farts, if she looks to the side, she runs into my hands. If she leaves her head right there, she's happy-go-lucky. Now let's see if she can transition to a walk. There we go. So since the last time we came through here, we stopped her. That time she was ready to transition from a fast gait into a walk. And just like that, using that consistency and being that picky about it, you're gonna have the best transitions out there. So those are the do's and don'ts of speed transitions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.